Because of the rise of low-carb, high-fat diets, we know that fats don't make us fat, but did you know you can actually overeat on fat? It's really easy to do that, and also it's really important to incorporate the right type of fats, and there are fats you really do need to avoid. So I'm going to get into that in this video. I'm going to show you exactly how to incorporate fats so you get weight loss when you're over 40. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you if you're a woman over 40 or like me over 50 get in fantastic shape. And nutrition is absolutely key to all of this. You can be exercising as much as you like, but if you haven't got your nutrition down, you're just not going to see results. And I know there's so much information out there that's really confusing, but one of the things that I hear women tell me, and this might be you, is they say, oh, I eat really healthy, Melissa. And then when you dive a little bit deeper into it, I say, well, what do you snack on? And they'll tell me they snack on a whole packet of nuts like that. That's 100 grams, so that's about 3.5 ounces. And there's over 500 calories in that. So that's a big meal you could have for that 500 calories. Another thing people tell me is they put on a tablespoon of peanut butter on maybe their toast in the morning, or they have it as a snack. So that tablespoon, it could be about 40 grams because they're probably heaping a tablespoon in. And that's going to be nearly 250 calories. Things that are seemingly healthy, you can choose a peanut butter that doesn't have any sugar in it, doesn't have any added palm oil. Something that's really innocent like that can really bump up your calories, and then you're gonna really struggle to lose weight. Now, the other problem with fats is there are unhealthy fats. So I'm gonna talk about some of the unhealthy fats. You've got trans fats, they're really unhealthy. And any fats that are kind of on processed meats, so salami, bacon, that kind of thing, what they're gonna do is they're gonna cause inflammation in your body. That's one of the reasons I don't like a ketogenic diet, because often you're encouraged to eat a lot of those processed meats and they're just really unhealthy for you and can cause inflammation in your body. And where you find trans fats, that is in a lot of the pre-prepared cookies, we call them biscuits in the UK, packet foods that you find. A lot of the time they're actually using trans fats, and again, they cause inflammation in your body and you want to be avoiding them. I'm now going to take you through some of the fats that I would love you to include that are really going to help with fat loss. They're going to help with weight loss. They're going to help with reducing inflammation in your body, and they're fats that you can incorporate quite easily. You've got things like your oils, and what I've got here is MCT oil, and then I've got lovely Greek olive oil there. So there's some oils. Now, I get asked a lot about butter, and I'm not anti-dairy fat. I've actually got this butter in here in the fridge, just half a packet, and I hardly use it. I just have it occasionally. That's how I incorporate butter, and it's in very small amounts, like a teaspoon, because you do have to watch for your cholesterol levels. You've got to watch for your heart health, that type of thing. But I always think a small amount of animal fat, there's no harm in it. And I would even say I do roast potatoes in goose fat, for example, and that's okay. But again, it's just a teaspoon in a whole roasting tray, so we're talking about tiny amounts. Now, the other animal fats that I really love, this is halloumi cheese. It's going to give you a little bit of protein as well as fat, and this is feta cheese. Now, these Greek cheeses are fantastic. This feta cheese is actually made with sheep's milk, so this can often be okay for women that have intolerances to cow's milk and lactose. As I did earlier, I'm going to talk about nuts and nut butter, and both of these are healthy for you in small amounts. Very, very small amounts. So what I'm talking about with something like this is a tablespoon or under of nuts at one sitting. It's a teaspoon or kind of like 5 grams of peanut butter. This kind of instrument, so a measuring spoon, that's what you want to be using to get the level of accuracy. Or you want to be using digital scales. I mean, digital scales, they're my best friend, because if I don't use these, I'm going to end up overeating on practically everything. Human nature, we're just going to put more on our plate than we would otherwise, aren't we? Now, I'm going to talk about fish oils. Fish oils are absolutely fantastic for reducing inflammation in your body, for fat loss, and they're just overall really, really healthy. I've got salmon here. You could have something like mackerel, any kind of oily fish that's canned, or sort of fish oil supplements as well. This is a really good way of incorporating fat into your diet. Salmon is going to be really higher in calories than something like a fish like cod. But you know, you can have 100 grams of that. It's going to be something like 250 calories, I think. It's not massively high on calories like nuts are. So it's really easy for you to include. Free range eggs. I mean, I always go for free range eggs because I think it's slightly kinder to the animal. And eggs are a fantastic way of including healthy fats. Now, if you've got problems with cholesterol, you probably want to just stick to a maximum of 2 eggs per day. I eat the whole egg because I like the yolk, and it's the healthy fat that you're going to get in the yolk. Another really, really great fat, I love to incorporate this. I know it's not for everybody, and that's an avocado. Now, avocados, I would say, have half an avocado at one sitting. That's what I do, half or a quarter of an avocado, because if you eat a whole avocado, again, it's going to push your calories really high, which you don't want, and you can get all the nutrients you need. And avocados are packed with nutrients. They actually have a little bit of protein in them as well. They're going to be really good for you, good for your heart health, that kind of thing. Finally, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite fats, because I love dark chocolate, and I've just got a small amount here. I like to eat 1 square like that to get my fats in. So we're talking about a really small amount. That's sort of 10 grams really, and you don't want to be having much more than that, because if you eat a whole one of these big 100 gram or 3.5 ounce bars, again, that's like 500 calories. So you can have a whole meal for that, and you're not really getting a nutritious meal if you eat a 500 calorie bar of chocolate. But there are some really good things about chocolate, as long as it's 70% dark chocolate. That's what you want to go for, 70 or 80% cocoa solids. Some people buy 90%. I think you can even buy 100%, and that's going to be quite bitter. But you, just like me, keep it down to small amounts. And the thing to remind you about, going back to nuts and nut butter, is you really want to be considering those as not a protein source but a fat source. That's what I do, because if you were going to consider them as a protein source, you'd have to have so much of it. It's just going to push your calories really, really high. I've made a video all about protein. I'm going to link that here. So that's a video purely about how to get your protein in. And I've also made a video about carbohydrates and getting your carbohydrates in, and I'm going to link that up here. And then if you want an overall picture of everything to do with how to get in really good nutrition, I have a free nutrition guide. You can download that today and start using it. I'm going to put the link in the description to that free nutrition guide. Do take a look at that, because it's actually got a free sample meal plan. You can see how to stretch your meals. You can see exactly how much fat to eat. But I would say, if you are tracking your own calories and macros, you want to be going going for a minimum of 40 grams of fat per day and a maximum of no more than 80 grams of fat per day, I would say. You know, and 80 grams is really on the high side. I tend to sit at around 50, 60 grams of fat per day. I wouldn't go below 40 grams of fat, because as females, we do need a little bit of fat in our bodies and in our nutrition to sort of keep our hormones in check, and that's really important when you get to this stage in life.